Whoa. Hey,
Oh.
everybody. Thought I had myself back to stage. Welcome to Bearded Beggar Banter, the sports podcast. Welcome, Trent. Welcome, Trey. So I got a little into the intro music there. So
Yeah.
Almost forgot to add us. But hey, welcome, guys.
Better late than never.
That's right.
It is Bears hate week, fellas.
It's better late than a Butterfinger, right, Trey?
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Trey,
Bears hate week, looking to go 11-0. I hate any of you listeners out there that are Bears fans. I don't have any friends, but any listeners, I hate you this week. Just this week. Dick Butkus was overrated. Deep dish pizza is just lasagna. The only good thing to ever come out of the Bears was Mike Ditka. So let's go Pack.
Wow.
Interesting take there.
Interesting. Especially to,
I'm jacked up.
Especially to hate a team that's going to be starting Tyrone Badgley. Badgley.
No way. You think so?
No.
Not yet.
But to end that little rant. For you, Richard.
There we go. Richard Pop Top starts it off. So we are going to start off with the NFL here. But I think we're going to start with the clip from, was it our podcast last week, right? That there's been some news floating around. I know Adam Schefter talked about it. LaShawn McCoy talked about it. DraftKings Sportsbook talked about it. A couple other, X accounts have talked about it, but I don't know, guys. Let's roll that tape.
Let's go there.
All right. Shedeur Sanders becomes the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. They fire McCarthy, and then Dion is the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh,
that's your play right there.
Holy cow!
Would Jerry Jones do that though?
Yes. Absolutely. He's ridiculous.
Do you think Dion would take that job?
100%, dude.
That's a dumb question.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. Dude, he would coach his son still. So, hot topic of the week is does Dion become the Dallas Cowboys' next coach? Now, let's keep in mind, Mike McCarthy's not fired. All right? Yet. Dion claims that he won't leave yet. And I know we also kind of talked about, we kind of cut the clip off a little bit there, but by the way, can I just add that we are becoming quite a sports analyst show here. We're bringing in clips now. We got video. Like, dude, it's becoming quite the production.
Tyler, let's also mention that's not the first time that's been discussed between us. It was just the first time it was discussed on the airwaves, right?
Yes.
We've had you. I mean, you've mentioned it a week prior. We've talked about how that would be such a storyline, but I still don't know if personally Jerry Jones is willing to make that jump. I know he's a kind of a conservative coach, but I mean, man, what a attention grabber that would be for the NFL and such a storyline. But
it also makes me think how much I don't. It almost seems like you'd be too storybook. Exactly. Because right now there's a really there's a very legitimate shot. I know we're going to talk college football, but there's a legitimate shot that he ends up getting Colorado to win the Big 12, therefore get a top 4 seed. And then, if he gets Colorado into that playoff in his second year, it just looks like, man, the guy has it all figured out. And you know what? Credit to him if he does pull this off. But I don't know. I mean, Trey, from everything that's being discussed today, is Shedeur and him are a package deal. And he's even taken it as far to say that he will be behind the scenes making sure that Travis and Shedeur don't go to the wrong teams. So
which I Caleb Williams thing.
I think it's bull crap. But once again, I kind of hope it does happen just to see if it actually ends up being a good thing. And for me, it ensures that the Raiders don't take Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, there you go.
That's I mean he's a good quarterback. Okay, he's good, but he's not the best quarterback coming out, of this class. I mean, there's a lot of talent coming out of this.
When you say good, Tyler, like give me a comp, because good is very subjective. So I want to know who you're comparing him to.
Who am I comparing him to? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's athletic. He can make big plays. I just don't know. And again, I don't know if
Deshaun
style
Watson.
I don't know.
That's who
I
I
don't know
would.
if,
That's who
I
I would
don't know
say.
if I don't know if the style of play is going to transfer into the NFL.
Exactly.
That's where I think that's where I kind of find some issues with it. I don't know. He's athletic. He can make plays. Could he be good for like a year in the NFL? Maybe, until defenses figure it out. Kind of like a lot of I don't know. There's very few. I don't know.
Ty, he's not like when you say defense need to figure him out. He's not like a running, like he can run, but
Right.
he's not on the lines of like I wouldn't even say Jaden Daniels and Lamar. Like he's not a run first type quarterback.
I'm not saying he is. But I also don't think he's a pocket passer because I
Right.
mean even tonight, or last night watching, the Washington play the Eagles, Jaden Daniels can sit back and just chuck the rock. I don't think, and maybe it's not necessarily the style of his play, but I think it's more the mentality of him. I don't think his mentality will fit in the NFL because I would say, I'm not saying I'm comparing him to Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts, when it's inside the 20, like Jalen Hurts is going to run the ball or get sacked or try to make something himself. And I can see that being the same fault of a Shedeur Sanders where he wants to be the guy and won't let his teammates help him out. I guess that's kind of the style of play that I'm talking about is I just feel like he wants to do it all, which doesn't transfer in the NFL.
I agree with that. I also agree, Tyler, that I think that he thinks he's more athletic than what he really is.
Yeah,
because when it comes to the NFL, like those guys are the fastest of the fastest. Like, and yeah, Jalen Hurts comes to mind because he's mobile, but he's not like quick necessarily. He just runs smart and
right.
But on the other hand, Lamar Jackson is he's probably the most athletic person in the NFL, and he can get away with that. You know what I mean? Like just kind of relying on his athleticism.
And he's also just put together like tough.
I guess
I don't know that Shedeur is.
I guess
I could be wrong.
So let's each give a comp of Shedeur Sanders in the NFL.
I don't have one.
I have two.
I feel like he's a blend of a couple.
Jacoby Brissett.
Not a bad one, Trent.
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
I said Deshaun Watson, and that's even giving him a lot of credit. I'd say Teddy Bridgewater.
I see the Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, I see that.
What about what's his face out of Seattle?
Gino.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Like he's not shifty like Mahomes. I don't know. I just
maybe Baker Mayfield. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I was gonna say Baker Mayfield or Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Or Bo Nix is even a good little comparison.
But real quick to that note, I will say that
might be good.
He could be really good.
Bo
Nix surprises the heck out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you were all on the Broncos 7.5 last week, man. That was a good call. I know they didn't pull it off, but the win, I should say, but they definitely
they should have.
Yeah. Yeah.
That goes back to that little stat sheet I think that you sent out, Trent, about like 1-score games. I saw somebody else on X post like, man, so this means that if the Chiefs didn't have the help of the officials, they'd be 2-7. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of a good little stat line there. 2-7. They'd be in 1-point games. So I don't know. We'll see. But
they're not.
No, I mean some other headlines here, kind of NFL wise. Harrison Butker's out 3 to 4 weeks, which that actually could really hurt the Chiefs in, some games. Solid kicker. I mean, we'll see what happens, but the play last week, I think that surprised me probably the most was Tua trying to make a tackle head first.
Oh, dude, I watched that live.
After his interception, I watched it. I'm like, oh boy, he's going to do it.
First of all, they just kind of let the play happen, and I saw him go make the tackle. I was like, oh no. And then they kept showing the replay of him trying to make the tackle, and I was like, here we go. They're going to talk about it, and they did for like the next 5 minutes. But you know what though? Like
next 5 minutes, it was all on ESPN radio. The next
let him play the game. Like that was a bad form to tackle, especially with your history. I understand.
Dude, he led with his head.
But you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to prove that he's not playing timid and he's not letting that affect him. And I respect it to a sense, but if I'm Mike McDaniel, I'm like, dude, you don't got to prove anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, that was very interesting. But JJ McCarthy, another knee surgery. I don't know if you guys saw that.
What?
Second knee surgery.
I didn't see that. Why? What happened with the?
Happened a day ago. I don't know the details of it. I just know he had to get another knee surgery. So I don't know. Just some interesting things here, but
Another headline: the Colts switching back to Richardson for the rest of the season.
Yep, I did hear that.
Which, you know what? I don't have an issue with it necessarily.
Yeah.
You gave Joe 2 games. He did not look good. He's not going to be your future, right? You got to give Richardson either some draft capital, like or trade value, or maybe he's your guy and he figures it out. So
yeah,
just like kudos to him for making tough decisions pretty deliberately, and it's not an easy thing to do for especially a new coach. But
yeah, no, I know.
We'll see how it turns out.
I know. Just make sure you're not leaning on that table there too far there, Squeaky.
Oh,
I'm just saying that gets a lot of of mic
feedback.
Effect there.
A lot of feedback.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. I actually, and we'll get into best bets in a little bit, but I'm not saying I'm all on the, Richardson train again and be like, oh man, but
don't.
I'm not. But I do think it'll probably somehow give a little bit of a spark this week for their game in some weird way. I don't know. I just feel like that's just the way things work, especially when you look at their matchup this week against the Jets, who somebody did check on, like we tweeted out posted out from our X account, checked on Devontae Adams, and he is out currently. Not practicing. Now, I don't know what his game status is going to be like for Sunday, but he's currently a little under the weather, dealing with some wrist pain. So, I guess that's what happens when you go from...
I don't think that was real, Tyler. I think he's just sick.
No, wrist pain was because he's living with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't think the wrist pain was a legitimate report.
Didn't pick up on that one.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers that, Richard Pop Top. That's pretty. That's good.
That is why.
That's awesome.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, I didn't put that one together.
Yeah, no, that was a sarcastic.
Good.
That was a joke tweet, Tyler.
All right. Well. Anyway,
but in all seriousness, they do look awful.
Jets look rough, man.
Oh, what a shame!
And
what a shame.
Roger says he's coming back.
Yeah. I don't know if that's to try to motivate people, but I feel like at this point in time it might deter some people. Like you might see Sauce Gardner be like, "Well, see you later."
Well, he's
he's
I'm just right now.
I'm just pointing out some of their star guys on the team, but whew. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think many people saw the Jets being 3-7.
I think if anybody,
I think Trent
Wilson. Yeah, I did. I've called it from day freaking one. I said they were going to suck, and I said Robert Saleh would be fired within the first 5 weeks. I said all that, and nobody wanted to agree.
You said it last year too, so
okay. But I said, new year.
I do want to give you credit. I do want to give you credit because I think you made a perfect comparison to the Jets this year, and that's the Los Angeles Lakers. They're a high market team that's just trying to fix their problems by buying superstars and big names. And hey, let's get this guy. Let's get this guy. Hey, now we got him back, and it doesn't work. It's not.
So that is a great comparison.
Yeah. I said it 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I think even Trey, you got to admit, as a Packers fan, you saw the decline in Rodgers' ability to take a team all the way. He was, yes, MVP. And I know he's coming off an injury, but even his last year in Green Bay, weapons or no weapons, he wasn't that good. Like he,
No, and
it's
the thing was, Trent, is we didn't know whether or not.
Drop off.
Yeah, we didn't know whether or not it was just him getting older or if it was the lack of their weapons. Because realistically, they didn't have anything his last year, like at all. Like they didn't even have what they have now. But they our GM Goody made a fucking explicit now, but made a bold decision, and it was the right decision. We had a quarterback that sat for 3 years that was ready to go. So
you do realize that we were already explicit with your shirt when we went on air.
Okay, well,
so
whatever.
No, but grumbles.
No, yeah, Trent, I agree. He has absolutely fallen off for sure. And is that the ankle or the Achilles injury? Could be, or is it just old age? Also could be. Father Time.
Yeah.
He also, I mean, their line doesn't look the greatest, but he also, I mean, in the past he's been able to kind of extend plays and chuck it up, you know, and I maybe that is the Achilles, not being able to like reverse roll out, you know, and just kind of look for your guy and just kind of, you know.
I think in the last game he had 2 passes that traveled over 15 yards in the air.
Whew.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it was kind of interesting because after they won, they upset the Texans, correct? And then everybody in the world was saying, yeah, that's an upset. Texans are good. They're depleted right now. They got a lot of injuries they're dealing with.
Sure.
But after they did that, after they beat them, it was kind of like, oh, now the Jets have a path because their schedule was pretty favorable, looking like they could get in the wild card. But then it's like, that's why this team was one of my best bets, and they were a team that I said are going to cause some trouble for other teams. Is the Cardinals just came out and they just didn't stop. Like they just kept going down. 11, 10 play drive, touchdown. Oh, this many plays, touchdown. This many. I mean, freaking Kyler Murray looks good right now. And I don't know. That
looks like a video game
team,
character.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Cardinals are in first in that division right now.
They are.
Not saying that's going to stay, but.
Well, they also have a tiebreaker against the Niners right now, too.
Play the last game of the season.
Until they play again.
And the Rams, I think, too.
No, Rams, they split, didn't they? Split the Niners.
We didn't play the Rams twice yet.
But still, I'm just talking Cardinals right now. Plus 2.5 last week, easy money. Took them straight up money line. So took them also with the spread.
I think you're also seeing too that Kyler, when he does have a very talented wide receiver, where he can chuck it up and let Marvin Harrison Jr. just go get the ball sometimes. I mean, it's. I think we made the comparison the other week. It looks like Kyler Murray before he got hurt, when he was able to kind of scoot around and just kind of heave the ball around. It's a smaller version of Russell Wilson, and to say smaller version of Russell Wilson, I mean,
another guy's
not very tall.
Speaking of Russell Wilson, Tyler, you owe Trey a beer on that beer bet last week.
Yes, you do.
Steelers are your kryptonite, Ty. You got to stop wagering anything involved with wagering with the Steelers.
And it was Penn State there for a while too, but that obviously
that's still alive. That's still alive.
What do you mean?
That beer bet
is still alive all the way through the playoff.
No. I'm saying, like, in the past, Tyler's always bet me against Penn State, and I always beat him beer bets.
I beat you on a beer bet with Penn State this year, I think.
Yep, you guys both did. It was a double beer bet.
That's right.
Double beer bet.
Whatever.
Speaking of bets, Ty, what are we feeling, man?
Is it NFL time?
Bearded best bets.
Yes.
That time. Yes, it is.
Let me
start us off, fellas.
Go ahead there, whiteboard.
I got 3 best bets for this coming week. The first is the Pack coming off a bye week. Matt LaFleur is going to get Jaden Reed so involved. The Bears are in shambles like they usually end up halfway through the season anyway. Shane Waldron, their offensive coordinator, after an awful series, comes over to the sideline, sits next to Caleb Williams, and he starts laughing. the team's giving up. DJ Moore's walking off in the middle of plays. Packers off the bye week are going to embarrass the Bears at home at Soldier Field -5.5. That's my first one.
Real quick, they did fire Waldron, correct? That happened.
I did not see that. If that did happen,
I think I saw something on the lines of more people went into the head coach's office to ask for them to bench Williams than actually talk about firing the offensive coordinator. Like that was an inside report.
So they're in shambles. They're in shambles.
Lot of rumors, but you got to decipher.
Packers off a bye. LaFleur's going to cook something up. Great offensive play or play calling, I should say. Second best bet: Titans +6 at home against the Vikings. Vikings are a good team. I think they're relying on Flores and his defense a little too much. I think the true Sam Darnold is starting to shine through. He had a good beginning of the season. I think his receivers were kind of making him look better than what he is. They still could, but 6 points at home. I like the Titans. I think they have a lot of talent on defense. It just depends on how Will Levis can play and if he doesn't turn the ball over.
I could see, real quick on that note, I could see Flores getting another shot at a head coaching job after this year because his defense is playing really well.
I don't know.
I'm not saying it would be. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it would be a good stint because there's some guys that are just great defensive coordinators.
Exactly. He might be like what's his name?
Mike Zimmer?
No. McDaniels. Just be a coordinator, man. That's what you're good at.
Or Saleh.
Okay. Trying to hate Robert Saleh.
I don't know why.
I like him as a coordinator.
No, you hate him altogether.
I hate the Jets.
Last best bet for me is the Bills -2. I think the Chiefs have been getting away with it, and that's been the storyline for a while. Tyler Butker, this might be the storyline this week is, would they have won if Butker was playing? Like maybe a missed field goal that's in crucial time. But I like the Bills -2 at home. And those are my 3 best bets. Only 3 of them this week.
Okay. Trent, you want me to go?
Yep, go ahead.
I'm taking Jacksonville Lions under 47. I have a feeling that Jacksonville won't be able to score. I think Campbell's going to have the defense lighten teams up. I believe this is going to be Zadarius Smith's first game as a Lion too. So, and I think the quarterback situation in Jacksonville, I don't know if that's been solidified yet either.
Mac Jones, all right.
But, yeah, not against the Lions. I think the Lions will do most of the scoring in this game. That's why I'm taking the under 47. Trey, I'm on the Packers. You had -5.5, correct? Yep, I'm also on that. Agree with everything you said about the Bears being in shambles, which is what I said at the beginning of the season. I'm going to take the Colts +4. Like I said, +4 is a pretty steep line, in my opinion, for a Colts team that's bringing not a rookie, but a second-year quarterback back to try to spark another fire. And dude, the Jets suck.
But Todd, they have so much talent that the value.
No, like, I don't know if this has ever happened. I don't know if a team has ever fired a coach and an interim head coach in the same season.
Well, why have they not hired a new one?
I don't know. But like at this point in time,
coach in the middle of the year.
Why not?
But I don't know if that's ever happened. I'm sure it's happened, but I don't know that ever happens. But
do it. Be the first team to do it.
At this point in time, they may literally have to fire 2 guys in the middle of the season because this is not the right move. And don't get me wrong, Olbeck, being a Niner guy, like feel bad for him, but dude, it's not working. I am on the Niners -6.5 against the Seahawks at home. Been a little bit. So I'm taking San Fran when you can get that hook with a touchdown. I'm always going to take that, especially with McCaffrey back. Trent Williams, I know, hasn't practiced for 2 days straight, but he will be absolutely fine. And then I'm going to also take the Chargers -1.5 against the Bengals. Still not sold on the Bengals, and I think Zach Taylor is a good coach. I just don't think that it's working in Cincinnati, and I think his time is wearing out. I know they've shown sparks, but if they don't start winning games because of the amount of talent that they do have, now I know feel like they need a running back because Mixon looks like he is a born-again all-star for Texans. But I'm going to take the Chargers -1.5. I think Harbaugh and Herbert right now, two peas in a pod right there. Yeah. So look out for them. That was, and if you remember, that was my Super Bowl pick. Ugh. You can thumbs down me all you want. Butt finger.
Any animations tonight?
No, none. I was just hoping you'd keep doing it.
Maybe. Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, screw this.
All right, Jack, give us your best bets.
Well, Trey, I am all aboard with the cheesy train this week.
Fuck.
Wow. Okay. Thanks.
Well, no, it's just like if we're all on board, that's never a good sign for anything,
dude,
right?
Bears are horrible. One of my
you know what they say. You know what they say. Cheese.
That's good. I'm not sure who says that, but
the cheese train, man. We're all on the cheese train.
That was good. All right.
It was pretty stupid, but it was funny.
From what I saw, out of every Bears player on their roster, there is zero guys on that roster that have ever beaten the Packers. So yeah, I'm all on Packers -5.5. Don't give a hell that it's in Chicago. Like, who cares? My next
11
one
games in a row.
What's that? Yeah. My next one is I like the Rams. Rams -4.5 against New England. I know New England's playing good football. The Rams just surprised the hell out of me that they're not like horrible after those years of where you thought they were going to have to rebuild when they went all in. They hit on some really late receivers. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, like those guys are legit. And then you got Kyron Williams, and Stafford is still playing good football. He plays good in that system. So
can I tell you their weak spot right now? That to me, in my opinion, I think is they're missing somebody like Whitworth.
Yeah,
because their offensive line, man, Stafford, there's times where he just gets brutally crushed. Williams can't find a hole sometimes. Like last week, I'll tell you what, man, against the Dolphins defense dialed it up against the Rams. And I think that was they just teed off on them between blitzes and line games and stunts and everything. Like Rams did not look that good last week.
I still think I'm not sold on the Patriots. That's my thing. I feel like I'm just like I know they're playing better and better.
I agree with that.
I think the fact that you can get them for less than a touchdown, I think is a good line there. I think it's fair. Trey, I'm also on the Titans +6. I look at last week and it kind of, I feel like every year the Vikings are like this. Whoa, look at the record.
Yeah.
But you can't ever tell if they're legit. Like, are they legit? I mean, they struggled. They really, truly struggled to beat a Jaguars team who had Mac Jones starting at quarterback. And you know what? Who knows?
Who?
Maybe.
Mac Jones.
Maybe.
I got you, Jay.
Maybe they're better with Mac Jones. Who knows? Anyway. But and then my last but not least is I've got the Kansas City Chiefs +2.5. You do not bet against Patrick Mahomes as an underdog.
Will you give me 2? I'll give me 2 and I'll take a beer bet.
Nope. My line is right there and it's 2.5. And if you give me 2.5, then I'll beer bet you.
No, because I have 2.
Right, 2.5. Come on. 2.
No, I have 2.
It's all right. Then we're just not going to agree on a beer bet. That's okay.
Then you sound like a kitty cat. So
I think you do too. Anyway, I did with those 4 picks. I've already bet them individually. I have already actually taken all of them and teased them with 6.5 points to get a +230 odds.
Wow.
teaser.
Yep. So you get Packers +1, Rams +2,
butt fingering.
Titans +12.5, and then I get the Chiefs +9. So
Dude, I can't.
you know?
I can't wait to screenshot that.
Yeah.
Trent, I want to say one thing that, not to steal your thunder about your picks and your BTs or anything, but you were way wrong about Saquon Barkley this year.
I don't know if I said anything about him being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a great steal. My only concern was will he stay healthy?
You said you didn't think it would be good because you don't think he can stay healthy. And I said
That
if he
was my
does stay
question.
healthy, if he does stay healthy, it's one of the best trades ever or signings ever.
I'd agree with that, dude. Trey, it's the
Tyler,
old
Tyler, we're gonna have to bring tape.
Yeah,
for the
go
next
run
episode.
any tape. You'll be searching for a long time. The only thing
No,
I
he
said,
won't. No, he won't.
he will. No, because my prediction was the old McCaffrey prediction: is you go from a losing team to a winning
Game
team,
over.
and all of a sudden he's going to be able to stay healthy. Isn't that funny? Yeah.
I don't remember you saying that. I think you said that it wasn't. You didn't like it because he's always hurt, and it's what's going to happen.
Never said I didn't like that trade, Trey. I thought
Trey, that might have been me, dude.
Giants looked like absolute
I know
idiots.
somebody. It was somebody.
I criticized the Giants for how their GM was like, "Hey, you are going to call us though, right? And let us give us a chance." And Saquon never did. He's like, "Screw you! You put all your money in Daniel Jones. Goodbye." Like, I thought it was the worst thing for the Giants to not only lose their majority of their yardage producing or yard producer, but then also to lose them in the division. Like, I thought that was horrible by the Giants to let that happen. That guy deserves to be fired just for that right there.
Really? You think so?
100% he should. Dude, I couldn't believe they let that air on the Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
The office, like that literally, it made him look like a joke.
Yeah.
Like it literally did. It made him look like a joke.
Yeah. Be interesting to see.
GM of the Giants. Hey, by the way, when are we gonna? I know Tyler, you're anti Derrick Henry for some reason, but when are we gonna have the true discussion? Derrick Henry MVP.
If Christian McCaffrey didn't get MVP last year, there's no way in hell Derrick Henry should get MVP.
Last time when Adrian Peterson got the MVP in 2012, he was at 1,128, and this is through 10 games, 1,128 rush yards. Henry's at 1,120. Peterson had 7 rushing touchdowns. Derrick Henry has 12. Peterson averaged 5.78 yards. Derrick Henry's averaging 6.1. Peterson averaged 112.8 yards a game. Derrick Henry's averaging 112. Like, there is no clear quarterback out there right now besides Lamar, who's the favorite, that deserves MVP. And I still don't think Lamar does. I think Derrick Henry is the difference maker in that offense. So just want to kind of.
I might have said this last week, but I'll tell you about my MVP bet.
No.
Kind of fell through last week, but
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Tyler was all.
We brought that up too, and
that's what I thought. Yeah, I bet $25.
I think we jinxed him.
I bet $25 to win $280, and I was like, dude, he's got the best completion percentage. They're winning. They're like
5
and
picks.
There's 5 picks.
Yeah.
5. That was nuts.
Dude,
yeah, we jinxed him. Sorry, Jared, if you're listening.
I saw the stat where last time he did that, they won. Like, he's like 2-0 when he's thrown 4 or more picks. Or something like
be careful. Be careful. I don't know if you saw that stat that was fake. The kid made up, and he just tweeting about how everyone's talking about it.
I did see that.
I think
Rodgers brought it up.
Yeah, McAfee and Rodgers both were like, yep, got it. Yeah, that's a stat.
What's that?
Jared Goff has thrown 4 or more interceptions in 8 games, and he's 7-1 in those 8 games.
That's wait.
That's not true.
That's talking about too.
Hold on, he's not 4 or more interceptions in how many games?
Like 8 games, and then he's 7-1 in those 8 games, which is not
some
true.
Guy just made that entire stat up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
On Twitter. He had a blue
viral.
check mark, so everyone took it for his word.
Jeez, that's like saying Devontae Adams has a wrist injury.
Exactly. I was gonna say it's the same thing.
No, that's on Tyler because that was Moneyline ML football, which
Was
is
it?
known. They do that. They do that stuff all the time.
They have some pretty reliable stuff out
but
there.
They also have unreliable stuff. Tyler,
Yeah.
they even said in their tweet, like, yeah, he has a wrist injury. I guess that's what you get for living with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like-
I didn't. Sorry, I
Oh,
must have been
no.
like scrolling.
Look at Saquon.
Jeez.
Yeah, it
Commanders
didn't even.
just folded.
Saquon's
All right.
really good. He might be MVP, Trent.
No,
Oh my God.
He's also on pace for 2,000 yards.
he doesn't get the ball.
my God. Yeah, that is the truth, Ty. That is the truth.
Jalen Hurts won't let him do that.
No, Nick Sirianni won't let him do that.
Yeah,
Well,
see.
I'm ready
All
to I'm ready to talk college here, boys.
I am too. I'm channeling champions here with
Whoa.
the Tennessee Orange Volunteer jersey. So I am obviously biggest game of the week here in college football. I will pull up real quick just for you guys. Got a little college football bracket graphic to show our listeners, because I'll tell you what, this bracket is very, very interesting to me. As you're looking through it to understand that, which still blows my mind too, but like you're number 12 in the rankings, you are not in the playoff. So good riddance. But right now, what we're looking at there is top 4. You have Miami out of the ACC. You have Oregon out of the Big 10, BYU out of the Big 12, and Texas out of the SEC are your leaders right now. Hence their top 4 seeds, which again, find it interesting, especially after Miami's bad loss last week. They just couldn't figure out how to win. I mean, Cam Ward's found a way to win every week, and last week it just couldn't figure it out. So
It's so funny, Trent.
I'm sorry, but like, Trey, you're gonna hate me. But like,
Yeah.
Penn State 4th, like 4th, like, dude, like, okay, let's just look.
I don't
Let's
get
look
it
straight
either.
up right now. I think Georgia beats them. I think Ole Miss beats them. I think Bama beats them. I think Miami beats them. I think Notre Dame beats them. I think Tennessee beats them. I think Indiana beats them. That's 7 teams that are ranked behind them that I think
So
are
why
just.
is Texas ahead of them, Trent?
I think Texas would murder them.
Who'd Texas lose to?
Texas would
Who'd
murder
Texas
them.
lose to, Trent?
Georgia,
Okay, where's Georgia at?
12th. They have 2 losses.
Okay.
What do
All
you?
right,
What do you want to say?
what's Penn State's loss to?
To
Oh,
Ohio
the number
State.
2 team in the nation right now?
Couldn't score
Wow, that's crazy that we're number
a
4.
depleted Ohio State team this year.
A depleted, Trent, they're number 2 in the country. How can you say that?
I'm calling
They're
your,
they're overrated though.
those are
Okay, well,
your
it doesn't
words,
matter. They're number 2 in the country. They
your
lost by
words.
1 point to the number 1 team in the country. Texas lost to a 2-loss Georgia team
Those
by
are
like
your
30
words.
points.
Ohio State, not Ohio
When we want to
State.
talk about teams that
Fast.
deserve to be ranked, you're just a Dick Knee Lion again.
Damn right.
There he goes.
Yeah,
There he goes again.
well, that's ridiculous. The
I'm
only
sorry,
thing that you have an argument about is that Indiana should be ranked higher than it. That's the only argument that you have.
Oh, I'll take that too. Yeah.
That's it.
Trey, I haven't seen enough when I watch Penn State, man. Struggle with Bowling Green. Like I look at their schedule. I'm just saying.
You're too funny. Oregon struggled with who was their first game of the season? I think it was Idaho, and they only won by 3 points.
They did, but you know what Oregon did?
But
they
wait,
did
what
something.
about that, Trent? What about that? Idaho.
Trey,
I think it's a D2 school, actually.
No, that's
I think it's a D1 AA school.
Yeah, that's Division 1 FCS.
So it's
Different. It's different than D2, Trey.
Well, it's an FCS school, and they only won by 3 points at home.
But
And you don't want to mention that.
But oh yeah, they struggle with that. I'll mention that. But
They struggled the first 2 weeks.
Trey, they also did something that Penn State can't do in their first year in the Big Ten, which is beat Ohio State.
Yeah,
like
by 1 point. By 1 point at home. Yeah.
Owens a win, man. At least they
yeah.
put touchdown.
Hold on. That was the jolliest laugh.
Yeah,
when you were so excited to say that.
He's never been
gave
happier.
the loudest,
than to talk
laugh.
about Penn State's failures. That's like
dude. Once again, I said it last week.
You can say whatever you want to say, Trent, but body language and emotions don't lie.
Body language. What's my body language like? Can you see my shoulders?
Yeah, you're jolly as hell talking about Penn State's failures.
Jolly. I'm
Lost by
sorry,
a
but
touchdown.
anyway,
We should have won that game.
let's also clarify something. SMU, I'll just make my hot take. SMU ends up being the 4 seed when it's all said and done.
Dude, you know what's funny is Trent. That was the one I was actually doing research on, was to try to figure out, what's their schedule look like, what's Miami's schedule look like, and I don't know. I mean, if Miami loses again, it's going to definitely be a fluke. But
SMU's
I
no
don't.
fluke.
I'm-
SMU's good.
But they don't play SMU.
Yeah, but ACC championship.
Right, which would be right. I'm saying during the regular season. So if they meet in the ACC championship, then yes, I do think that SMU does overtake them. I that was the one team this week that I was looking at too in terms of bets. And again, we'll get into best bets and stuff, but like they need to make statements from here on out. Like they have to win big from here on out to say like, hey, guess what? We deserve to be here. Tough part is that the ACC just is getting the screws because it's kind of average.
Todd, the only way SMU gets in is if they win the conference championship.
Yeah, or you have some sort of implosion by one of the teams that's in there right now. I mean,
let's be real.
Alabama's on the skirts. Ole Miss. Let's go back to that team, because Ole Miss, holy hell, where'd they come from against Georgia?
Tyler,
I'll tell you what.
Can I say something?
What's up?
They will put a 3-loss SEC team in over a 1 or 2 loss ACC team.
No, I don't disagree with that. I agree with that. I just find it interesting.
But do you disagree with that though? Like, because I don't.
No, I'm hold on. I'm not necessarily. I don't know. I just kind of hate the
God damn! Look at Georgia's schedule.
About damn time.
I was gonna say don't.
Okay,
that, because look at Georgia. No, they played shit teams for the last 10 years.
They
finally have to play competition.
You can't say they can't say they play shit teams. They play in the SEC.
They have played shit teams.
Trey,
look at where they're at now that they actually play teams.
Trey, they played in the side of the SEC where they never had to play Bama. They never did. Like they always walked into the championship, and look what Bama did to them.
Okay,
look what Bama did to them again.
Can I tell you something? Yeah, I would absolutely take a 3-loss Georgia team over a 2-loss SMU team. Like that's
I understand, and that would definitely happen. It's going to happen,
as it should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about? Let me ask you this, Trey. Can I flip?
I would take a 3-loss Georgia over a 2-loss Notre Dame.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would too. But
if I think Notre Dame should be out.
Let me pose this question. Okay. What if let's say SMU beats Miami. So now Miami's 2 losses. Georgia loses this week to Tennessee. So SMU gets the automatic they're going to be the 4 seed, right?
Would I put Georgia in over Miami?
Would you put Georgia in over a 2-loss Miami team?
I would.
3 losses versus 2 losses.
Because look at Georgia's losses, or look at some of Georgia's wins that they got handed. Or I'm sorry, Miami's wins. That's my fault. Miami's wins. There are some overturned touchdowns on last plays of games. There's touchdowns given to them. They're letting bad teams score 40 points on them, even though they're scoring 50. Like, I don't know. I would. Georgia is playing better competition than what Miami is.
Okay, I'm gonna make this argument that Notre Dame should not be in right now. Their best win was August 31st against Texas A&M when they won by 10. They lost to Northern Illinois and have blown out teams that are really okay.
So then who's in over them, Tyler?
Right now, I put Georgia in over them.
A 1-loss Notre Dame.
I put a 2-loss Georgia in over a 1-loss Notre Dame team. Notre Dame beat Louisville. Okay. So Louisville and A&M are your 2 best wins. Besides that, you played Georgia Tech, Navy, Florida State. You played Miami, Ohio, Purdue, Northern Illinois, who you lost to. Like, What?
So what happens?
Like,
what
what
happens
are we
to
talking about? And then you don't have a conference championship.
So Tyler, what happens to Tennessee this weekend if Georgia wins?
So, and that was my question. I don't know if I posed it to both you guys. Is so let's say, for instance, Georgia does win. Okay. So now what you're looking at is now you have a 2-loss Tennessee team. You have a 2-loss Alabama team.
2-loss Ole Miss.
You have hold on. You have a 2-loss Georgia team. All right. I'm just going to stick with those 3 right now just because.
And Ole Miss, Tyler.
Well, but I'm talking about the teams that have played each other right now. Okay.
Ole Miss just beat Georgia.
Right. But I'm talking Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia have all played each other. Okay. So now what you're looking at is you have Alabama beat Georgia, Tennessee beat Alabama, and Georgia would have been, again, hypothetically, beat Tennessee. So are they all 3 in with 2 losses? Because I would find it very, very difficult to remove a 2-loss Tennessee team, all right, who lost to Arkansas, all right, and then you have an Alabama team who lost to Vanderbilt. And what it could come down to, and I think I said this to you, is that Tennessee plays Vanderbilt the last week of the season. That could be the game right there. They win, they're in. Obviously, if they lose, they would be out. But I don't know how you don't put all 3 teams in if that scenario happens. Tennessee wins. If Tennessee beats Georgia this weekend, I think Tennessee is in there for sure. Like, no doubt, no matter what happens in conference championships, I think Tennessee beats Georgia this week. If they beat Georgia and Alabama the same season, they're in 110%.
What if Texas
I might even move them to number 1.
So Texas A&M is 15, right? What if Texas loses to Texas A&M in the last game of the season?
Which is possible.
You would have Texas 2 losses, Texas A&M 2 losses. If Tennessee loses, they'll have 2 losses. Georgia will have 2 losses. Bama, Ole Miss. God damn, who else?
All right, and let's not forget about Ohio State, Indiana next week.
Not 2 weeks from now. Yeah, not this week. 2 weeks.
Right, I'm saying, yeah, that like next weekend.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
that's a huge
game. Missouri has 2 losses.
I hate how you say that, but Missouri's not getting in, Trey.
But I'm saying, like, if they win out, like they have 2 losses.
They're gonna lose to South Carolina this week.
Ooh. Trey, can I just say something about your Texas A&M hypothetical?
Sure.
If they do win out, they are in the championship. They're in the SEC championship
because of tiebreakers.
And then there's even the chance that if they win that, they're in
the automatic bids.
This is why this has been so good for college football. Like, teams that are right now ranked in the teens have a chance to end up getting a bye first round, and I love it. I don't know about you, I love it.
You imagine if
you are you not seeing though? It's a 2-conference. It's a 2-conference sport.
Yeah.
It's Big Ten SEC. That's it. I mean, Big 12 has BYU in there, and is that it?
Yeah, they did have Kansas State, but no,
that's it. More. It's absolutely it. And then Colorado controls their own destiny. When it's all said and done, we could see a Colorado team sitting up there as a top 4 seed.
We won't. They're going to lose.
But college football would want that so bad.
Yeah, absolutely, they would.
The Big 12
why do you think that the Colorados jumped from 23 to 17?
Because they're beating everybody in their way and covering like machines. They're 7-0 against the spread.
But that doesn't count in the college football playoff there. So.
I don't think they are.
I think I just saw 7-0, 7-1 versus spread.
That was that same source, Trent. I'm telling you right now, I've been wagering on them many, many weeks. Now I couldn't this past week because Tyler picked against them, but they are covering and easily. Yeah, but I guess personally, as a fan of Tennessee, I'm just frustrated. I know Arkansas was not a good loss, but I'm also frustrated that their one loss, they beat Bama. I mean, obviously they have to go up against Georgia this week, but like the fact that some people are so quick to put them out if they lose to Georgia this week just kind of baffles me.
I think they will be.
Yeah.
Why though?
Because they haven't really, like, they're a Penn State, Tyler. They're Penn State.
Then put Penn State out because they're not any good.
But if Tennessee has 2 losses,
Who's
think
got
they're
the
better
best? Who's got better wins? Tennessee has better wins.
Yeah, easily, dude.
doesn't matter.
Easily
You have
better
2
wins.
losses.
They beat Bama. When you have a win against a
losses.
playoff team,
You have 2 losses.
that's why Penn State is in the perfect scenario. They get to just stay up there hidden,
Yeah, that's the 12-team playoff.
and they'll get beat first round.
There he is, Mr. Dickney.
But hey, it also goes back to my point of Notre Dame should not be in there. Period.
It does kind of suck that they're not in a conference. Like it's just like
They should make them.
It's once again, it goes back to like if they're ranked a certain. Remember in the old days, like if they're ranked a certain within like the top 10, they have to get. Remember they had to get like one of the major bowl games.
Yeah. There you go. This is for this weekend because we're gonna beat Georgia. You know what that is in there?
I don't know how that wasn't pass interference. Like what the hell?
Some Tennessee liquid gold in there, good boys.
Hey,
Like
so
he's
Tyler,
all over.
you know what it might be
Facebook.
time for? That's also a touchdown.
Look at the ref wanting to throw the flag too. Look.
Oh, released.
He wanted to.
I know what time it is for Trey.
Bearded best bets.
Yes.
But let's get into it here. Do you mind if I rattle mine off quickly here?
Go ahead,
Because I
Ty.
always feel like I have the most.
So what do you got? 19?
Tyler's got 27 best bets this
I
week for
don't.
college football.
No, not 27. I'm actually only at 7 this week.
Wow.
It was tough, yeah, but I'm at 7. Utah plus 11 against Colorado. I think they actually may beat Colorado this week. Colorado overrated. Jacksonville State minus 13 against FIU. I have Florida plus 4 against LSU. Florida's back in the swamp. I got SMU minus 19 against Boston College. I think, like I said, SMU has to have big wins. Huge wins.
Huge.
I think that Missouri, South Carolina, I am taking over 41.5. I think South Carolina's a minus 14 favorite, which blew my mind. I mean, they're 21. They're 21st, and Missouri's 23rd.
I don't like that.
But I'm taking over 41.5. I think it'll be a little bit higher scoring than people think. Going Tennessee easily plus 9.5. Tennessee wins outright, but give me some points. And I'm taking BYU money line against Kansas. I think they're minus 3. I don't know. It just seems like a tight, fishy line. So I'm just going to take BYU money line minus 142. So those are my 7 best bets this week. Due for another parlay hit, man. It's been 2 weeks now. So
I like it.
Sorry.
Tyler, we're on the same page for a couple of them here. I'll rattle mine off quickly. I've got BYU money line as well. They were minus 2.5 favorites I saw on Fanatics. Actually, my lines for my college picks are actually coming from Fanatics today. Sportsbook. So Tennessee plus 10. I just think 10 is a steep number.
Sweet spot there too.
Oh, you got him.
Yeah, I got them at plus 10 for minus 110. I have Oregon. Change it, Trey. Add that little hook up.
I will. I'm going to take it right now.
Hold on. Trent, hold on real quick. This is just to kind of branch off your pick of the plus 10. Just announced tonight too, Trevor Etienne is not playing for Georgia this week, which is a big X factor. Now, obviously, the Nico news, everybody's kind of sitting on here about the quarterback situation with Tennessee, but Trevor Etienne being out definitely changes the game a little bit. So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oregon minus 13.5 versus Wisconsin. Surprised I was expecting a lot of hate from you guys on that. I got SMU minus 18.5 at Boston College. Boston College, kind of terrible news for Bill O'Brien. Quarterback gets benched and then basically just quit and entered the transfer portal. this week.
Castellanos.
Yeah, so he's gone.
Wow.
Yeah,
These guys are soft, man.
they are.
These guys are
Absolutely
so
dude.
soft. Like, grow up.
And then this one is a little out there, but if you've been following them, Jacksonville State, they can run the damn ball. Rich Rodriguez, minus 13.5. They're playing FIU. FIU is some of those Tuesday night games before the MACtion started that was absolutely horrible to watch.
That's
So I'm
Trent. I have
going-
minus 13.
Yeah, so I like Jacksonville State. And then this is one where I believe this year, it might have been 1 or 2 weeks ago, was the first time it didn't hit. Any game that Navy has played, I believe the over is hit every single game except one. So I'm on Navy versus Tulane.
Oh, there he goes again.
I said it wrong.
No, you said it wrong.
Tulane.
Tulane.
Tulanes.
Tulanes. I got that over 51. Over 51 points. Both teams are, well, Navy averages over 30 or maybe even 40. And then Tulane averages close to 30 some points a game as well. So
Dude,
give
ever
me
since
the
you
over.
ever since you fucked that name up, I question myself every time I say it. I'm like,
Yeah.
who's
Trent, who do
who's
you
right?
like in that game? Tulane.
Tulane.
Like,
yeah.
I'm actually pretty sure I've called it Tulane because of you, and I'm like, wait, is that the right way or is it
No, it's not.
Tulane?
Just like
Call,
it's Missouri.
call the
Dude,
ambulance.
It's not Missouri. Yeah.
Call the ambulance.
Why do you say? Hold on, Trey. Why do you say Missouri?
Because that's what it is. It's not. It's Missouri.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not Missouri.
You're-
Otherwise,
It is
it'd be
Missouri.
ORRI.
No. He said that so like confident. It's because he has a whiteboard.
Yeah, look at my
and,
whiteboard.
and a pen in his hand.
You're one of those guys that says Louisville.
No, and it's bison.
Bison.
Not. I've
What?
changed my ways
You
on
guys
that.
say bison?
Yeah.
Now
how they
you're
say it
stupid.
out-
Now you're stupid.
That's how they
Trey,
say it
all
out
right.
there in North
Let me get to
Dakota.
my best bet.
Trey, I can call it Bison because they beat us like 70 something to
No,
3.
you can't call it bison because that's not the right. It's bison. It's Missouri and it's Louisville.
I will
Yeah.
say this, real quick though. My son called it Louisville the other day.
That's fair. That's okay.
And I was like, you're not wrong, dude. Like,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
it looks
awesome.
like.
Yeah,
Because
awesome.
that they play Louisville, and I was like, yeah, but it's called.
That's
It's
fair.
actually
That's
Louisville.
okay.
So.
Yeah.
No, I know it was
Yeah.
awesome.
He's learning. He's learning.
He is.
I
All
got
right,
three best
Trey,
bets. First one, Trent. I'm hopping on your plus 10. I'm going to take that once we get off air here. But yeah, I think it's going to be a close game than what we think. Even if Nico doesn't play, I think that defense can keep it a close game. Carson Beck is not the most attractive. He's not the most responsible with the football either. Like he'll throw it around. Looks
Dude,
like
the
Jordan
South-
Love.
And
The
Tennessee
South
has
Park
some killer
comparison,
defense.
man.
Oh my gosh, Timmy.
Sid the
was
Sloth, Timmy. Yeah, that was bad.
Hammerhead Shark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. I really do. Like,
Dude, he's a Georgia quarterback making millions of dollars. Don't feel too bad.
yeah, that's true too. But anyway, plus 10. I think the Tennessee's defense is too good, even if Nico's not playing. Next bet is Syracuse plus 9.5. I know I have gotten burned on Syracuse a lot. I know.
Don't
I
make
know.
that your official pick, please.
No. Don't worry about that. But
Oh God.
Who do they got?
Real-
Syracuse 9.5
Plus,
versus who?
plus
I'm gonna
9.5.
it's a really bad team.
Oh, Kyle McCord.
Listen,
No,
I know it's California, who is not that good. Okay.
It's on
So
the
they're-
West Coast.
Yeah, it's on the West Coast, but 9.5 points is a lot. And Kyle McCord's competent. California does not have a good defense. It's gonna be a shootout, and I like the quarterback in that situation. Next game, my last best bet is Navy plus 7 at home against Tulane. So I'm sorry, Trent. I'm
What?
surprised you're betting against Navy.
Then he bet the total.
I didn't. I bet the over.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to take a beer bet?
On the over and under?
Do you want to bet against Navy?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm probably gonna bet Navy +7 as well. I love
so
Navy.
Do you want to take my Bills bet? Your bet?
Only if you give me 2.5.
2, dude. Don't be a B. It should be a money line bet. If honest, in honesty, like, right, Tyler?
No.
I mean, if you both can't agree on the hook, I would say do the money line.
That goes in Trey's
We
favor.
should do the money line. Let's do the money line, Trent. Come on. We can't agree on it. We're doing money line. Tyler says it. I agree with Tyler.
Hold on a second. That makes the bet so much easier for you because now you don't even have to cover 2.
But we can't agree on the
that
hook.
is true.
Tyler says
That
we
is
need to take
no.
the money line.
Let's move
true.
on. We'll move
Let's
on.
do -2 then, dude. Dude,
Nah.
we either tie or that's it, or no one, like, one of us wins.
Then do 3. Do 3 with a field goal.
No, we're doing 2 if you want to do it.
No.
You're such a little pussy.
Oh, there's Sleepy Trent.
Sorry.
You're like a wide mouth.
So
Probably.
where are you going there?
Ass. Just getting
All right,
spread by all the fish hooks.
that's weird. So we
-2,
have
Trent. -2.
No.
Let's make it
No.
interesting for the guys.
I don't like cheering for the Chiefs. I want the Bills to win. But
So make it a win-win then. If I win, the Bills win, you just owe me a beer. If not, the Chiefs win and you get a beer.
Is that a win-win?
Tell me.
Let's go. What do we got next?
got a little bit of college basketball here.
Yeah, a little smidgen.
Just a little touch on it because obviously things are still figuring itself out until we get into league play. Yeah. So let's Trent, you said you had a couple games that you wanted to at least touch on.
Big one tomorrow. I gotta pull that up.
You mean today, Alabama Purdue.
Yes, sorry. Alabama Purdue today. I'm not quite sure if there's any really true big games on Saturday.
No.
I know, Trey, you were saying there's some mid-majors that you were keeping an eye on, but
There's
where's my I don't really honestly on Saturday I'm not really seeing too many oh wait, here we go. Sorry. Sorry, Trey, kind of put me on the spot here.
On Saturday or Friday? Which one we talking about?
Hold on. So tonight we have the Alabama Purdue's pretty big. You got Ohio State, Texas A&M's pretty big. I'll be interested to watch the Arizona, Wisconsin. Arizona, even number 9 team in the nation, is -4.5 in that game. Florida State's interesting because I don't know if you guys have seen the news and stuff with Florida's head coach is under some
a little creepy
investigations,
Dude,
allegedly
stalking,
but
allegedly. Sorry,
yeah, it's a little ugly,
but it's alleged.
It is,
yeah.
But I think Oakland on Saturday beats Kansas. Just kidding, dude. I would love that though.
Can you imagine?
Dude, I would love it. But no, real quick though, and we don't have to get too much onto it because I don't want you to get too upset. But like the Duke Kentucky game, all right, was very frustrating to watch because let's be honest, Cooper Flagg played a great game until the last minute.
Yeah.
And then I feel like he kind of fell apart. Now, obviously, the guy is 17 years old, still figuring out big time basketball. That's a pretty big game.
17.
Yeah, 17 years old.
He reclassed.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty big game, but you almost felt a little bit bad. I felt like when the game was on the line, I felt like they do have some seniority there that probably should have had the ball in their hands to finish it and maybe make a little bit of a play as opposed to dribbling out of bounds. Just my thought. Now, take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, Carolina fan over here, so not trying to dog Duke too much because I was pulling for Duke because I just can't stand Kentucky, regardless of who's coaching them anymore.
I'm not a Kentucky fan by any means, obviously, but it is weird how they're not as hateable now that they don't have Calipari. Like,
you know what though, I still hated them.
I know, but
I did, and I think it's almost just blinded now. I'm like Calipari blinded.
The guy that I hate is that Kerr Prisha Kerr, whatever, the guy that transferred from Arizona to who knows where last year, and now he's at Kentucky, and he's talking a bunch of shit about Cooper Flag before the game, saying, "I don't know why they're gifting him the number 1 overall pick, but sorry, bud, you're never going to play in the NBA, and Cooper Flag will." But I think here's the way I would put it: is it wasn't obviously Duke has more talent than they do. It definitely is the truth. I don't think they got out physical because in terms of points in the paint, Duke dominated. But Tyler, if Duke just shoots 20% from the 3-point line, they win the game. They shot like less than 10% from the 3-point line. There is a weird fact about how low all the teams shot from the field. It was the first time and only time that in the Champions Classic they decided to use a Spalding basketball versus the normal, I guess, Nike one is what I saw. And the only, what is it? Maybe it was
Aiden.
But anyway, but and then the only team that practiced with a Spalding basketball all week leading up to the Champions Classic was Kentucky, according to those notes. So I'm not making an excuse, but Duke just couldn't.
No, but that's interesting.
Whatever you do, don't put your head in a microwave. It looks like you're wearing a tinfoil hat right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
But no, they lost straight. It was kind of a terrible game because they were leading and almost dominating the whole game until
10
the
at
absolute
halftime, correct?
Yeah. So 8 or 9, I think actually. Okay. But I still like what I saw from Duke. I mean, Malawash had gone out with cramps, which is the first game Cooper Flag hasn't gone out with cramps. But that Malawash guy is – I hope that Duke could get another year out of him. He is a pain in the paint. Like, you got a 7'9" wingspan in the paint right now.
Yeah. Didn't another guy leave with like a knee injury?
Another guy left with a shoulder. Zion. His name slipped my mind right now. But he left with a shoulder.
You mentioned that Knipple guy too last week.
Yeah, he struggled. I thought he kind of forced a little bit, but hey, it's the Champions Classic. It hurts because it's the first time in a long time we lost to Kentucky. But the thing that I love coming up, and I think it's just going to continue to do so, is Duke has so they play Wofford this weekend, right? Nice. Then their next 2 games, Arizona. At Arizona, so they get a true road game against a top caliber team.
Yeah, that's a good matchup.
And then I believe Black Friday they're in Vegas and they're going to get to play Kansas. And then December. Is
that going to be 4th. In the Sphere?
No,
that'd be sick.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
And then the December 4th. December 4th they play Auburn. So like Duke has such high quality games leading into it. And honestly, this is where I tip my cap to John Shire that is totally a recruiting ploy too.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we're going to get you to play
where you can go.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's the best in places like travel, man.
There's a good chance. I would look at it. I was going to say, I would look at it this way. If they go 2-2 out of those 4 games, including the Kentucky, so they're already 0-1. I think that'd be huge. I think it'd be huge for them if they would somehow figure a way to knock off Kansas, who's number 1. But
Tar Heel should have done it, man.
Yeah,
should have done it. But
that final shot.
Yeah, that was frustrating, but
not quite. Like my favorite time is coming up here with the preseason tip-off tournaments. Like, give me those. Where I could stay up till 1 a.m. watching the Maui games. Like, that's what I can't wait for. That's like comparable to like it's almost their like conference championship.
And Maui looks great this year too.
Yeah.
Or comparable.
We mentioned just games like comparable. On Friday and Saturday. Comparable. We mentioned college basketball games Friday and Saturday. I think Friday looks better than Saturday, to be honest with you. You got Purdue, Alabama, like Trent mentioned. You also have Tulane and Furman, both 3-0 teams. And then another Florida Atlantic and Charleston, another mid-major matchup that I think Charleston right now might be, they could earn themselves like a 11 or 12 seed in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the way they're playing right now. Another matchup, Tyler, I know you like watching them, is UAB and High Point.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams that are huge mid-major like prospect teams in the down the road here. And then you got Virginia Tech and Penn State. Another big name schools that are playing each other, both 3-0. And then West Virginia and Pittsburgh. What's that called? The
Backyard brawl.
Yeah, backyard brawl. They're both undefeated teams playing each other in college basketball. That's just tomorrow or today. Sorry, today. On Saturday, you got Wake Forest and Xavier, both undefeated teams. And I saw another one that was great. UT Martin Longwood. And there was one more I wanted to bring up. That might be it. Oh, Colorado and Old Miss. Colorado State and Old Miss.
Yeah.
Also both undefeated teams. One of them's ranked. So, I mean, I love college basketball. You got mid-major teams that mean something at like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Then you also got these 8 o'clock primetime games that are good every single weekend. So it's the best time of the year, guys. It really is.
I'll tell you what just blows my mind though is how much there's certain times where I feel like I watch some of these smaller schools than these bigger schools.
Yeah.
Like so much more. And it's like, oh, let me find, who are they playing on? Are they on ESPN Plus? Oh, do we have to find, it's like, because I'll tell you what, like, last night my bet was Seattle. Love watching Seattle. Over the last couple of years. High Point has been a team that I will be on heavily throughout this season. The other team that I think I texted you guys too about that I'll be watching a lot this year and keeping an eye on because I have placed 2 bets that have already hit and they've only had 2 games is St. Bonaventure. So
the Woj Bombies.
Yeah, that was it.
St. Bonaventure Woj Bombies.
Yes,
their new mascot.
Yes.
Shout out Mr. Daniewicz, alum, St. Bonaventure.
Dude, that's the second time you shouted him.
Yeah,
right.
Damn.
Hey,
hilarious.
keep an eye. I was telling you guys about 2 teams. One team that I'm keeping an eye on is a team that was like an auto fade last year was Siena. Jerry McNamara has them competing a little bit.
Yes.
I think they've covered in every single game. They kind of fell off after halftime of the last one, but I still think they covered. Another one that this is a team that I would be looking at to say, okay, who's playing against them? Because that's probably who I'm going to potentially place a wager on is Old Dominion looks horrible.
Yeah, you did say that. You did say that.
They look horrible. So I've caught a couple of their scores early on, and it's like, whoa, they're getting murdered. So just something to keep an eye on. It's still very early. The sample size for me is like I haven't found my small conference teams that I'm going to sit there and just roll with, like you.
I agree, Trent. I haven't found.
Although
usually you find like 5 that you can rely on.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one that I definitely know is Troy. They're really, really good. Also,
Trey, Big Green, North Texas upset Minnesota.
North Texas. Yep, that's another one that I like.
Yeah.
And there's another team that I bet on last night that, man, who was it? I want to say it was North Dakota State or North Dakota. It was North
Bison.
Dakota. Nope. The Bison. North Dakota Bison.
Nope.
I don't know if they're the Bison.
So, and we don't have to get too much into this because I know we do want to talk actually real quick, just make our picks into boxing and UFC. But so, Trent, you had mentioned like it takes a while to figure out your small teams.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do you guys have a starting point? Trey, I know you love getting the blue ribbon yearbook each year and kind of doing the research with figuring out who your teams are. Personally, I mean, I start with teams from the previous season, and at least feel them out. I'm not saying that I'm starting off making tons of bets and stuff, but like I at least look at lines, track lines with some teams that I, in the past, that, hey, it was, just very good basketball. It's like,
Right.
But yeah, so like I don't know. That's where I start. I know the other night when I bet Tarleton State, sorry, not Tarleton State, Arlington, against USC, and I'll tell you what, it was a very steep line, and there's a lot of times. So just as much as I'm always afraid to take steep lines where it's like, oh, minus 23.5, right? I'm also usually scared to take lines that are like plus 17. To a point, because you're like, you know what? That seems like an obvious one. Like, sure, they're going to cover it. Now, I know I think I gave 2 points to Arlington to make them plus 19.
Didn't matter.
Versus minus plus 17. But, dude, they almost, Trey, and you even said, when we texted, he's like, dude, they almost won outright. And that's Arlington's a tough team. So that's another team to keep an eye on. Bonaventure, Arlington, so far, that's where I'm at right now.
For me, Ty, when you talk about like early on in the season, what you look for is mid-major teams that keep their scorers, like guys that don't transfer, that don't try to find another opportunity, which is rare nowadays, especially when someone has a good year in a small conference school. But you get some of these guys like Troy, who I just mentioned. They have like their top two scorers returning. Chattanooga, also College of Charleston has a lot of people returning. So I think finding mid-major schools, new coaches or coaches that are starting their careers, like Jerry McNamara, who we know knows basketball. He was a great player. He was level-headed. Like, you knew he was going to be a coach. Never made it to the NBA, but he knows basketball. Just didn't physically necessarily have it. And he's at a small school like Siena. He probably won't be there next year, but he'll take Siena to maybe their conference championship. Like, it's stuff like that.
He might be there a couple years. I feel like coach is a little bit different, though. Like, if you're a new coach,
it depends on your name, and it depends on how you did and the opportunities that arise. What big name schools coaches are leaving?
Can I give you a little comparison of like a McNamara coaching career?
Sure.
He's going to be there for, I think, more than 1 year, Trey. But
like
I think
this coach.
No, I was going to say Wes Miller, former Carolina player, was head coach at, I believe it was UNC Greensboro for a while, and now he's the head coach of Cincinnati. So he's made it. He was similar type, like good player, new ball, but just didn't have the physical attributes to get him the NBA. So he just dove right into the coaching realm, got a small school, had success there, and got to Cincinnati now.
That's another guy, Kyle Singler. I'm just kidding. That was, dude, scary video.
Yeah, no,
scary video.
What happened with Kyle Singler?
Well,
just look at the video. It's scary.
Two videos.
It reminds me of Delonte West.
Oh,
yeah, it didn't look good. So
Kyle Singler.
Yeah, prayers out for him, man, because that did not look good. But anyway, anything else college basketball here before we switch into some fighting things?
Huh?
Okay, so let's start boxing. We're not going to get in a ton of discussion of this, but we're just going to kind of give us some input and some quick picks on what we think. Now, we're going to start with boxing with the Tyson and Tyson Paul fight, which airs on, correct me if I'm wrong, Netflix, right?
Yes.
And this is not an extra cost. Like, if you have Netflix, you got this fight, correct?
Yeah. Somehow.
Unless something happens, unless something else happens. So Tyson and Paul fight, very interesting fight. I mean, Mike Tyson, arguably one of the better heavyweights of all time. Jake Paul, obviously great at fighting guys that are a lot older than he is. I mean, and here's the thing: I'm not going to say he's not a good boxer, because he is a good boxer, and he has put in the work for it. I don't know, the events last night with the slapping Jake Paul, and then Trent, you pointed out the fact that there's a video now that shows that he actually stepped on his foot,
barefoot,
as he crawled up, and tried to act tough and everything else. Like, dude, I get it. Here's the thing: is you don't fuck with Mike Tyson, man.
Uh-huh.
Like, you just don't. That's just a guy that no matter what you do, Mike Tyson. I think I sent you guys a video too that he had put the other day. Like, he's like, oh, he talks about this, but guess what? Like, I would kill him.
He was a created killer. I was a born killer.
Yeah, like natural born killer. Like, I'm telling you, and here's the other thing is I know
You're
boxing, a lot of it is set up. I'm not here's the difference though, is it's correct me. It's not
wager on it. Oh,
hold on, but it's not the Jake Paul wagers. Like this is not the Jake Paul like event.
Doesn't matter.
Jake Paul. I'm not saying it does, but in my opinion, I actually do think I don't know that he's going to knock him out, but I do say that Mike Tyson wins.
I think Tyson wins.
Mike Tyson.
Tyson's not going to let that happen.
Exactly. He looked jacked as shit.
He wouldn't agree to the fight if he knew he was going to lose it.
Yeah,
yes, he would.
I don't think he would, Trent.
Guy,
I don't think he would. Dude, he's not. Dude, I'm telling you.
Do you listen to that one interview he had with a little girl?
Just remember.
Yeah. Like, Trent, he's not there for publicity.
Just remember, it's an entertainment. It's entertainment.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing.
And the only thing I'm going to say is winner gets 40 million, loser gets 20 million. So Mike Tyson, win or lose, is getting $20 million plus probably more.
Is that what they're getting? 20 and 30 million.
There's no way. But
Jesus
Trent, there's a difference. Is Jake Paul doesn't have pride like Mike Tyson does.
I disagree with that. I mean, and I'm not
already lost the fight.
I'm not a Jake Paul
fan,
Fury,
but to an actual boxer.
That's what's more frustrating to me than anything is after Jake Paul wins these fights, he has really worked so hard to get there. Okay, yes, you're fighting Mike Tyson. I get that. But it's not
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, like there, he made a return. He made a return to boxing, after getting away from it, and he came back and sucked.
Dude, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Like
I'm just telling you, I just think there's a switch that doesn't go away. And I think Tyson has that switch, and right now,
yeah, I agree with that.
I think something's off in that switch where
I hope
he's out. So we're all on the Tyson bandwagon cheering for him.
Absolutely. I just don't. I will not.
Trent, I think he'll win. Trent, you think he doesn't win? I'm not betting on this. I'm not actually putting money on this at all.
No.
All right. So let's then real quick just jump into UFC. We're not going to talk all the fights here with UFC, but we're going to talk the last three. So let's start from the bottom and kind of work our way up. We have Bo Nickel against Craig. Bo Nickel, obviously, heavy favorite at minus 1,500.
Yeah, I think it's going to be his closest fight, but I still think he's going to win pretty handedly. Daniel Craig he's a dangerous fighter from like the ground. Like,
yeah,
if you take him down, he could still knock you out from the ground. So that's why I think they made this matchup, is because once it gets down to the ground, it's not automatically over. But I think Bo Nickel's wrestling is just so dominant, it's not going to matter.
I don't think it's close at all. I think Bo Nickel submits him.
Yeah,
I agree. Beats him in round one.
Yep.
Who's he fighting?
Daniel Craig. Is that his name? Daniel?
No, it's not Daniel Craig.
That's an actor.
Daniel Craig is James
he's James Bond.
I was like, wait,
what is his name then?
It starts with P.
His name is Craig.
No, it's Paul Craig.
Paul.
I was like,
is it that far off? Paul Daniel?
The fact that you said James Bond, he's fighting James Bond. Well, damn.
Huge fight, yeah.
UFC 007. Sorry.
No,
but,
whatever.
Dude,
is it
I want Bo in the first, but it might not happen in the first. His last fight went out of the first, didn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it was round 2. I think about 3 minutes into round 2.
Really?
To go over 1.5 rounds is plus 135.
It wasn't 1.5.
Yeah, so you just can't wager on this unless you're getting like hey, it's gonna be, I don't know, TKO, like put some money there.
The actual way it ends.
Yeah, so I'm just I'm on Bo Nickel.
I'm on Nickel. Yeah. Next one's Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. I find very interesting. Oliveira, I believe in the one book, he's minus 265 to win.
It's ESPN,
but I'll be honest with you, man. I'm going Chandler.
Yeah.
I'm taking Chandler. I know you know you can say I've never ever been an Oliveira fan. Okay. And I still am not a fan of his. But I think that I don't know. I'm going Michael Chandler. And listen, call it what you want, but like conspiracy or whatever. But like Trump's gonna be there. Trump just won the presidency. Michael Chandler's a big supporter. Bo Nickel is. Dude, I think the guys are gonna win. I don't know. I just call it what you want. I just think it is.
Yeah, but Ty, if that was the case, why is it every time Colby Covington fought, he got his butt whooped?
Yeah. Right. No, but right. But what I'm saying is that, like, you know, the election just I don't know. I just feel like there's different aura around it. I don't know.
The only reason I'd take Chandler is not because of that, but because I don't think that the McGregor thing's out of the question yet. And if Chandler wins, it's just going to build the fight up more.
That's a valid point too.
I want Chandler. I will not wager on Oliveira because once again, juice isn't good. But Oliveira is just better.
Yeah,
Chandler.
I know he's past his prime.
Chandler just loses.
Overall, he's a better fighter. Like
he just
more
loses. He doesn't. Chandler just vacates everything and just goes like he's just going to go in and just go absolutely wild. Which, if you fall into that trap against Oliveira, he's going to submit. He'll submit Chandler quick.
Okay. All right.
Submission is the way to go.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. And then last fight of the night, which what?
They did fire Shane Waldron, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The
Bears did.
Yeah.
Okay. Last fight of the night, John Jones and Stipe Miocic. Supposedly John Jones' last fight. Will he lay the gloves down in the middle of the ring at the end of the night? I don't know. I think that there's a little too much noise around the other heavyweight.
Aspinall.
Yep. For him to actually lay the gloves down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, he did walk out of an interview before it even started. Because he felt like the vibe was off and that there would be too many questions about Aspinall. It is what it is. John Jones is a minus 725 favorite, which is extremely steep in my opinion. I'm actually really surprised. Excuse me. That it is that steep because it's been. I know it's been a while for both these guys, but I'm going with my guy. Oh man, there were so many times where I said I'm done being a fan of him, but I just couldn't get away from it. I don't know what it is. I'm going John Jones, man.
Yeah.
Probably gonna. Oh man, how does he finish? Is it a good decision though?
First round.
You think he finished his first round, Trent?
First round. I think it's like Cyril Gain all over.
Wow.
I think
TKO or submission here.
Yeah,
I don't think Stipe is as into it as he is.
Stipe. I
know he's got eye issues,
but I just think Ty, it's like a typical John Jones card, where I think we've been waiting for over like 2 more years again, and Dana White is going to sell. He's sold so many tickets or this whole entire card because of how many times he says John Jones is the best pound for pound fighter
ever.
Yeah. So
Like he's actually said ever.
yeah. So I just think it comes out. People have spent $100 on the pay-per-view card, and the main event's over within like 30 seconds to like 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean,
TKO
Okay.
or submission. It's tough.
I say
man,
TKO.
I'd agree with TKO over submission, but yeah, I don't know. Stipe, it's not like you can take Stipe down easily. You know what I mean? Like
What I do like that Dana White did though is told John Jones, he said, if you ever want to fight anybody else, you want to fight Pereira, you're gonna have to fight Aspinall first.
which obvious. Like, I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah, I think Jones is just playing into selling
Tickets.
Yeah. Hey man. That's my pick, man.
I'm on
sticking with him.
Jones too. I'm on Jones too.
Mm-hmm.
I want here you go, real quick. I want Nickel, he will win. I want Chandler, he won't win. I want Jones, I think he wins quick.
Yeah.
I might parlay them all.
I bet too much with my heart
Little sprinkle.
in UFC.
But I might
sometimes.
parlay them all. I know. So do I.
And then I end up pissed off after the card.
Yeah.
I haven't had a guy that I've cheered for win in UFC in quite some time.
I've had a couple recently. Well, if you guys are ready, let's watch it somewhere together. But
Yeah.
all right. Anything else, boys?
No.
That's about it, fellas.
Hey, happy Friday. Have a great weekend.
Yep. Hey, go
check
Pack, go.
check us out at moneylinego.com at Bearded Baker Bets. You can check us there if you would like to subscribe. We will be giving out picks. We'll be giving out advice, a whole bunch of other stuff. Right now, we've been putting out some free stuff to kind of sample what will be eventually given out. But yeah, check us out, Moneyline Go. Shout out Moneyline Go as a partner, moneylinego.com. And Applebee's. We're still waiting on your phone call.
Yep. Come on.
But
eating good in the neighborhood. We're trying
eating
to.
good. Exactly. Eating good in the neighborhood. But
Yep.
hey, have a great
Riblets?
weekend. No, shrimp. Shrimp.
No.
God damn it. Like every time.
You do love the
Every time.
riblets, dude.
Tyler does.
It's not.
Yeah.
No, it's totally shrimp.
Mm.
Don't know where we ever got riblets from.
Double crunch shrimp.
Yep, exactly.
Mm,
Bam.
riblets.
All right. Have a great weekend. See you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys.